Hello and welcome to the Seth Joyner Show. What a time to be a Philly fan. The Phillies have the city of brotherly love on fire. They're going for their third World Series title as they take on the Houston Astros for the chip. The Eagles resume play after a bye in Week 7 versus the Steelers, looking to push their record to 7-0. Let's get into my game breakdown. With the Philadelphia Eagles coming off their Week 7 bye, it's hard to nitpick about 6-0. But there's always room for improvement. Let's start with what the Eagles have done well. Their first half offensive production is on record pace, averaging 21 points per game. They're third in the NFL in total offense and third in rushing going into Week 7. And most important, first in turnover ratio at plus 12. Hurts has only thrown 2 interceptions. On defense, they've looked dominant at times and yet passive with a lead. They lead the NFL in turnovers with 14. That's plus 12 turnover ratio. That's 9 interceptions, 5 forced fumbles, and they're 6 in sacks with 17 through 6 games. And somehow we get a sense that they could be much more dominant on both offense and defense. Special teams by far is this team's Achilles heel. Siposs cannot directional kick and struggles with punts inside the 20. The kickoff and punt coverage team leave us holding our collective breath each and every time the opposing returner has the ball in his hands. Jake Elliott, on the other hand, has been absolute money. The bye week has come at a good time for the Eagles, and I usually not say that after just 6 games. The offensive line has been beat up and battered. Dickerson, Mailata, and Seumalo have all missed games. Kelsey's been nicked up. The entire offense could use a little time off to rest and heal up. The defense, for the most part, has been healthy with the exception of DBs Slay, Gardner-Johnson, both have been nicked up, and Maddox has missed time. It's also a good time for the coaching staff to evaluate, reflect, and self-scout. Game plans, play calling, and strategies, and how they can creatively key break some of their tendencies they've shown over the first 6 games. As the only remaining undefeated team in the National Football League, each week becomes progressively more challenging and pressurized. Every opponent wants to be the team that knocks the Philadelphia Eagles off the hill. The big concern for the Birds is the second half scoring on offense and the defensive philosophy with a lead. This quote by head coach Nick Sirianni speaks volumes to me. The second half is played a bit differently. So you just want to finish the game. I want to stop right there. You want to just finish the game. No, we want to compete. We want to dominate for 60 minutes. That's how you coach your players. That's how you want them to play. That has to be your mindset. But I digress. I think there's no doubt that we haven't played a complete game in the sense that we really haven't blown open a game when we have had a 2-touchdown lead. Here's the answer, Coach. The run game is what fuels this offense. At times, I think OC Shane Steichen tries to fuel the offense via the passing game and invariably has to reestablish the run game once again to get back on track. Don't deviate from who and what you are. Defensively, they can dominate anyone if they would just remain aggressive for an entire game. It's not risky, in my opinion, to again keep doing what's worked. Pressure unproven, young, and pressure-adverse quarterbacks. Not every single play, don't get me wrong, but enough to keep him rattled and unsettled. This defense is loaded with talent across the board. Come on, Coach, just believe in them and allow them to play to their strength, which is aggressiveness. That's this week's breakdown. After this break, Merril Hoge, former Pittsburgh Steelers running back, will join me to preview the upcoming Steelers versus Eagles matchup for the Pennsylvania State bragging rights.
Bridgeview Partners Strategic IT Consulting and Services, saving clients money and time by optimizing enterprise systems for over 10 years now. If you're an IT professional, what are you waiting for? Contact a very experienced team at Bridgeview Partners. These guys have an awesome reputation in the Philadelphia market for their thought leadership, specializing in infrastructure optimization and IT service management for healthcare, retail, finance organizations, and many others. Go to bridgeviewpartners.com to learn more, and go Eagles!
This car is a steal. Hey, Seth, Let's do a deal and I'll throw in this great gift. Hoge!
Is that the way you used to buy a car? Forget about it. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Davis Honda has over 300 pre-owned vehicles right now. Come see why Davis Honda won Best of Burlington 6 years in a row.
I'm Seth Joyner, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Seth, Caitlin, you forgot your great gift.
Birds fans, if you understand that success is built on trusted relationships and reliable performance, Mid-Penn Bank is the right bank for you. We're on a mission to prove that the right bankers can make a big difference and work harder for you. With financial centers strategically located to serve the greater Philadelphia area, we are ready to bring you the best in commercial and personal banking. Visit midpennbank.com or call the number on your screen. Mid-Penn Bank, the right bank for you. Member FDIC. Go Eagles!
Former Eagles linebacker Seth Joyner here to tell you about Artie Clear Kitchens, Baths, Drywall, and Roofing. For kitchens and bathrooms, roofing, windows, and other home improvement needs, call my friend Artie Clear. Get 100% no money down financing with payments as low as $59 per month. The first 59 calls will also receive a $400 discount on their first order. And if you're a senior citizen, double. Look for Artie's ad in the Metro. Call today, Artie Clear Kitchens, Baths, Drywall, and Roofing. For over 20 years now, strategic sports marketing has been a leader in the sports industry. With deep relationship among athletes and companies of all sizes, SSM knows what it takes to build effective partnerships. They've been helping me for 15 years now. From speaking engagements and endorsement deals to special guest appearances and much more, no budget is considered too small. And check out SSM's sister company at sportsvaultshop.com, where you'll find everything for your gift-giving needs. Keep an eye out for upcoming coupon codes exclusive to the Seth Joyner Show. Welcome back. Joining me now, 8-year NFL pro and 7-year Steeler, former running back, former analyst for ESPN, my old adversary, Merril Hoge. Merril, how you doing, my friend?
Seth, I'm good, my good brother. I want you to know this. I'd have yours, but I come in peace. I got my Ron Jaworski jersey, so I'm just one of those Eagle fans. No, I'm coming in peace. I come in peace,
it's all good. Listen, Philly's in a good mood right now. We got our Phillies going to the World Series. The Eagles are undefeated. It's all love in the city of brotherly love right now.
Oh, I imagine. I bet you there's an energy there. I traveled in and out of there going to NFL Films for over 20 years, so you can feel the electricity in that city at this moment. I bet that's great for the Eagle fans and Philly fans.
Well, let's talk some Steelers since they're the next opponent for the undefeated Eagles coming up. Listen, it seems like this football team is a team in transition with a young quarterback, who's now been inserted, as the starter. You look at Mike Tomlin, a guy who's never been below 500 in his, 15, 16 years of coaching in Pittsburgh. What's the task at hand for him to try to get this team turned around?
Those years that he had one consistent component that he doesn't have right now, and that's a quarterback. He had Ben Roethlisberger for all of those years, and Seth, you know how important that position is, how they manage downs, what they do in a game in critical situations. Now they're in transition to that. Now Kenny Pickett is really their best quarterback. He's obviously a rookie. He has a really good skill set that transitions to our league from this perspective. He's a really good quick decision maker. He's extremely accurate, got great sense of anticipation, and he has great pocket awareness. So now all of those things help you transition to this league. But do they help you with critical moments? Well, let's just go to the Miami game. There's in the game, he's got two situations. The first interception that he throws, I'm telling you, I'm sure you've seen it when you see the eyes of a young rookie. He walked out of that huddle. I knew he had already made up his mind where he's throwing that football. Mm-hmm. To not even see that safety drop down there, which would have been one of his key indicators and reads of not making that throw, he didn't even look at him. And then at the end of the game, you've got your 2nd and 2. You got 33 seconds on the clock. It's ticking. You could have ran out of bounds where he was got a new set of downs with 25 seconds left on about anywhere between the 20 and 15-yard line. So, he didn't handle those situations very well. What you hope for the next situation, he gets in like that, he handles that better. But you are dealing with a guy that does, those are going to be experiences that you're probably going to struggle with. Now, being able to execute and throw the football in this league, he can do that. He can do that. He's done that very well. He didn't play that well last week nor the week before. Actually played his best week was actually against Buffalo on his first start in Buffalo, which was, kind of odd. He hasn't played that well the last couple of weeks. He hasn't really filtered things well. He's left a lot of big plays on the field. Their offensive coordinators getting killed in Pittsburgh quite a bit, and that's because they're not attacking vertically. They're not attacking the middle of the field. Well, I always tell people, now listen, you can say that they're not attacking the middle of the field or down the field, but who's to say that the quarterback's not making choices that should, complement those play calls? And so it's a combination. The play calls have been there. The quarterbacks have just failed to execute that. You're hoping that they will learn. They're going to have to learn to get better, in that aspect, to have a shot in this game. I mean, Philly's they're undefeated for a reason. Their defense does a great job up front, so they got their hands full, going into Philly offensively.
I tell you what, the one thing that was always, there was a few things that were always constant in Pittsburgh. That was, you mentioned solid quarterback play. Always a solid running game. You guys got a great running back in Najee Harris, but, he just struggles to get every single yard. Nothing seems easy for him. And then over on the defensive side of the ball, you guys have always been a defensive juggernaut as long as I can remember. They just don't look like, that team right now. I mean, missing TJ Watt, is that, with him coming, if he comes back, does that cure all the ills on the defensive side of the ball, or is there more missing there than meets the eye?
Well, Seth, this on defense, one guy doesn't make a defense, but one guy can make a big difference, and he would make a big difference. When you have a guy like TJ Watt, from an offensive perspective, he's occupying two guys constantly, and he's drawing attention. Okay, so once you do that, you've already occupied a third of the offense to work on one guy. You got 10 other guys now I got to deal with. Okay, I don't have to worry about that when TJ's not on the field. Now, that being said, the last 2 weeks, they've probably played as good a team defense as I've seen them play, against the Bucs. And they had Tom Brady and their wide receiving core that's already out of sync, completely out of sync. They could not establish any rhythm. And the way they did their coverages, the way they disguised things, the things that they got to after the snap was extremely impressive. Now you go to Miami. I thought after they settled down and understood, just how quick they like to get rid of the football and the routes they were doing, and how they try to paralyze the box with that RPO stuff or the run action, play action, pull the guard, those type of things. Once they settled down and they really went through their assignments, went through their proper keys, didn't get fooled as much into the box, they played much better. And they really, they shut Miami down, really from the end of the second quarter on. So the good thing about that is it's kind of good preparation for Philly. The only problem with that is your offensive line's better, your quarterback's better, your running back's better, and your receivers are better. So that's the only problem this week is, and they do a better job. I think Jalen Hurts is probably the best RPO guy in the game in all of the things that he can do, from the decision making, his ability to run, and how he's throwing the football off of that. And their offensive line, good gosh, they're wicked. They're just absolutely wicked. This will be the best offensive line they face all year.
Quickly, what's your prediction? You got a struggling young team with a young quarterback. What can they come in here and do against, the 6-0 Philadelphia Eagles?
Well, I didn't answer your first question. That was about Najee Harris, so I'll answer it this way. If they can't establish him with this offensive line, which got a little better against Miami, a little better, but they're not good enough to win consistently. They got to get better there. But let's say that they could run the football with fair consistency in Philadelphia. Then you control the tempo of the game, you got a shot. It's when you can't do that you become exposed and you're limited. Now the defense controls you, and then they have no shot. So it's going to all start right there. If they can establish that running game, they got a good enough passing game to complement it. It'll complement it better, and then they have a shot. If they cannot do that, they just don't have the firepower on either side of the ball. Defensively, they got their hands full. Like I just mentioned, how much harder this game will be than Miami because they're so much better across the board. So it all starts and ends there. If they can do that in this game, they have a shot. If they do not, then they're not going to beat them. They'll end up losing the game.
Merril, my friend, good to see you. Thanks for your input. Make sure you hit them straight, man. We'll tee it up soon. No doubt about
Absolutely,
it.
Seth.
All right.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, man. Brad Feinberg joins us after the break. We'll be right back.
This car is a steal. Hey, Seth, let's do a deal and I'll throw in this great gift. Hoge!
Is that the way you used to buy a car? Forget about it. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Davis Honda has over 300 pre-owned vehicles right now. Come see why Davis Honda won Best of Burlington 6 years in a row.
I'm Seth Joyner, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Seth, Caitlin, you forgot your great gift.
For over 20 years now, strategic sports marketing has been a leader in the sports industry. With deep relationship among athletes and companies of all sizes, SSM knows what it takes to build effective partnerships. They've been helping me for 15 years now. From speaking engagements and endorsement deals to special guest appearances and much more, no budget is considered too small. And check out SSM's sister company at sportsvaultshop.com, where you'll find everything for your gift-giving needs. Keep an eye out for upcoming coupon codes exclusive to the Seth Joyner Show.
Mandrakia Law. Attorneys you can trust, we get results. When you need an attorney, you need an experienced trial lawyer who will never settle for less, who's not afraid to try your case, will fight for you and keep you informed. Charles Mandrakia and the team at Mandrakia Law have decades of experience. They are ethical but aggressive. Personal injury, DUI or DWI, commercial or civil litigation, criminal defense, experience matters. Visit the website mmattorneys.com and remember the name, Mandrakia Law. Attorneys you can trust, we get results. Bridgeview Partners Strategic IT Consulting and Services, saving clients money and time by optimizing enterprise systems for over 10 years now. If you're an IT professional, what are you waiting for? Contact the very experienced team at Bridgeview Partners. These guys have an awesome reputation in the Philadelphia market for their thought leadership, specializing in infrastructure optimization and IT service management for healthcare, retail, finance organizations, and many others. Go to bridgeviewpartners.com to learn more, and go Eagles! Birds fans, if you understand that success is built on trusted relationships and reliable performance, Mid-Penn Bank is the right bank for you. We're on a mission to prove that the right bankers can make a big difference and work harder for you. With financial centers strategically located to serve the greater Philadelphia area, we are ready to bring you the best in commercial and personal banking. Visit midpennbank.com or call the number on your screen. Mid-Penn Bank, the right bank for you. Member FDIC. Go Eagles!
Welcome back. And now for your betting and your fantasy fix, my good friend Brad Feinberg joins us with his weekly picks. Brad, how you doing, my friend?
Outstanding, Seth. How are you today?
I am absolutely awesome. Hey, you did well week before last. I was looking back over your picks. You were spot on with quite a few of them, okay? So let's burn through these today. Your underrated fantasy players and for defense and defense. Excuse me.
Seth, I'll start with underrated. Look, he's one of the cheapest quarterbacks out there right now, Jared Goff. Now, look, he hasn't done what he did the first few games. I get it. But at a bare minimum price, Seth, one of the cheapest players on the board, going against an average, I would say, Miami defense, assuming Amon-Ra St. Brown can come back, which I think he can, I think Jared Goff at a bare minimum price is a good bet. Another undervalued player, Seth, and this guy is one of the best players in football, so it's nice to get an undervalued player who's great. Jonathan Taylor, last week, first week off an injury, didn't get a full run quite, but now I think he looked great. I expect a full run, especially with Sam Ehlinger. I think he's going to be heavily involved. He's only like the 5th or 6th most expensive running back this week. I rank him first overall this, Seth. I love Jonathan Taylor this week. I'll give you a rookie wide receiver who's crazy underrated, Chris Olave. I mean, he's been terrific. He's averaging over 80 yards a game, Seth. He's had at least 15 fantasy points in every game except one. Still only a mid-price guy, but I think he's one of the better tier guys at this point. I think he's a really good player, Seth. And then undervalued defense, I'm going to give you the Houston Texans. They're going against a very mediocre Tennessee offense that Ryan Tannehill may not even play. Houston's one of the cheapest defenses. I would not be surprised if they're one of the 5 or 6 highest scoring defenses of the week.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, let's jump over on the overrated or the overvalued side as far as players and defenses are concerned.
Well, Seth, I'm going to stick a lot in this game, this Rams game against the 49ers. Matthew Stafford has just been absolutely pedestrian at best. And I see no reason why that's going to change. They have no offensive line. He's still being priced as one of the elite Super Bowl winning quarterback that he was last year. He's not that player right now. That's just the bottom line. Running back, Christian McCaffrey, love the player, Seth. Love the move that they made getting him. But he's the most expensive running back on the board. Didn't even get a full complement of stats or nowhere near that. Will even in week 2 he get a full complement of stats against the Rams team that's actually very good against the run? I'm saying no, I'm not paying up for that. And again, Seth, one of my favorite players in the NFL, and we had him on the list, and I've been right fading him, but I have to do it again. He's still one of the 5 highest, most expensive receivers, Deebo Samuel. Jimmy Garoppolo looks lost out there to me. And Deebo's not even being involved in the run game, which made him super valuable. I think he's overvalued. And then defense, I'm going to give you the Tennessee Titans. I like Texans as undervalued. I like the Titans as overvalued, Seth. Texans offense, not quite as horrible, I think, as some people think. And I think the Titans actually could be in trouble in this game. And they're one of the 5 most expensive defenses. I would not pay up for them.
Now, a lot of people, Brad, like to wager a little something, to keep the games interesting on Sunday afternoon. Give me your top 4 picks for the games coming up in Week 8.
Well, Seth, look, I'll start Philadelphia game. They're laying 10.5 right now against Pittsburgh, Seth. I think they're going to cover that game. I really do. I know Pickett's improved this team, but I think Philadelphia's secondary will be a tough matchup for him. And Pittsburgh against the run, no bueno, no good at all. I expect Philadelphia to have a huge running game effort off a bye week. I don't think they'll take them lightly. I think Philly wins this by 14 plus. Indianapolis Colts. Now, interesting, Seth. This line opened at 4, got bet down to 2.5 because of the Matt Ryan news. I got news for you. I think the Matt Ryan news was great. Sam Ehlinger at least is mobile. Matt Ryan was averaging an unghastly amount of turnovers, Seth. He was getting over, I think, 2.5 turnovers a game or 3 turnovers a game. That's unsustainable. I actually think Indianapolis got a quarterback upgrade. Not a big fan of Washington. I think Indianapolis does win this game, and I think they actually improved their team by going to Ehlinger. Panthers against the Falcons, lines 5. Look, I'm going to say to you, I don't even know who the better team is here. So you want to give me 5 points? I know the Falcons have a better record, Seth. I get that. But are they necessarily even better? I'm not so sure that they are. And I think this is going to be a low-scoring, kind of 50-50 kind of game. You're giving me over a field goal. I'm going to take that. And, Seth, what we saw Monday night, right, we saw the New England Patriots get absolutely trounced, against the Bears. But you're not as good as your last game and not as bad as your last game. I think Mac Jones will be healthier this game. I think Mac Jones is a lot better than Bailey Zappi. I know Zappi got all that pub, but I actually think they're getting an upgrade with Mac Jones. Jets without Breece Hall, don't think they can score enough points. I think New England wins this on the road, and you'll be able to lay anywhere between around 1.5 points or so.
Brad, awesome stuff as always. Hey, thank you. I look forward to our conversation next week. All right, coming up next after this break, my final thoughts and my prediction on the Eagles versus the Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 8.
Birds fans, if you understand that success is built on trusted relationships and reliable performance, Mid-Penn Bank is the right bank for you. We're on a mission to prove that the right bankers can make a big difference and work harder for you. With financial centers strategically located to serve the greater Philadelphia area, we are ready to bring you the best in commercial and personal banking. Visit midpennbank.com or call the number on your screen. Mid-Penn Bank, the right bank for you. Member FDIC. Go Eagles! Bridgeview Partners Strategic IT Consulting and Services, saving clients money and time by optimizing enterprise systems for over 10 years now. If you're an IT professional, what are you waiting for? Contact the very experienced team at Bridgeview Partners. These guys have an awesome reputation in the Philadelphia market for their thought leadership, specializing in infrastructure optimization and IT service management for healthcare, retail, finance organizations, and many others. Go to bridgeviewpartners.com to learn more, and go Eagles!
Mandrakia Law. Attorneys you can trust, we get results. When you need an attorney, you need an experienced trial lawyer who will never settle for less, who's not afraid to try your case, will fight for you and keep you informed. Charles Mandrakia and the team at Mandrakia Law have decades of experience. They are ethical but aggressive. Personal injury, DUI or DWI, commercial or civil litigation, criminal defense, experience matters. Visit the website mmattorneys.com and remember the name, Mandrakia Law. Attorneys you can trust, we get results.
Former Eagles linebacker Seth Joyner here to tell you about Artie Clear Kitchens, Baths, Drywall, and Roofing. For kitchens and bathrooms, roofing, windows, and other home improvement needs, call my friend Artie Clear. Get 100% no money down financing with payments as low as $59 per month. The first 59 calls will also receive a $400 discount on their first order. And if you're a senior citizen, double. Look for Artie's ad in the Metro. Call today, Artie Clear Kitchens, Baths, Drywall, and Roofing.
This car is a steal. Hey, Seth, let's do a deal and I'll throw in this great gift. Hoge!
Is that the way you used to buy a car? Forget about it. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Davis Honda has over 300 pre-owned vehicles right now. Come see why Davis Honda won Best of Burlington 6 years in a row.
I'm Seth Joyner, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Seth, Caitlin, you forgot your great gift.
Welcome back. The Eagles, after a bye week, no doubt, are looking to make some changes and get better. Going against the Pittsburgh Steelers, you know one thing. They're going to come out fighting. They're going to come out swinging. That's just their MO. It's up to the Eagles coaching staff to try to put together that complete game that they've been talking about in all three phases, okay? Let's come out, run the ball early. Let's allow that to, open up the playbook so we can get to our passing game. And defensively, listen, you're playing against a rookie. Let's not sit back and let this kid, make all the throws, because he can. But then again, he's been a turnover machine the last couple of weeks for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why allow him to feel comfortable in the pocket when you can rattle him and force him to throw us even more interceptions than we already have with our league-leading 9 as a team? Okay? So at the end of the day, the Eagles should clearly win this game. But we haven't seen them dominate a game in totality the way that they need to dominate it yet. Maybe this is the week. Hard for me to go against the Birds this week. Come on now. This is a game that they should dominate. This is a game I feel like they will dominate. And I like the Birds in this game 35-17. That's the show for this week. Join me next week when we look back on the Steelers game and look ahead to Thursday Night Football when the Eagles take on the Houston Texans. You guys have a good week. Hey, go Phillies.